Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Sage Gaming. In this video, Countdown to Launch Part 3, I'm discussing my thoughts, opinions, and lore about the Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion. Just like the two previous Countdown launch videos, I will be picking my favorite quests, talk about character creation, factions, and some mechanics that I thought were impressive in Oblivion. Alright milk drinkers, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the video. For everyone that watched my first Countdown to Launch video, you know that the Khajiits are my favorite race in the Elder Scrolls. But in this video, I want to talk about the first character I ever created in the Elder Scrolls, which was an Imperial. I'm not sure what made me choose Imperial when I first began playing. Maybe it was because I wanted to be basic, and I wasn't that big into fantasy type games, so I was looking for a more grounded experience as I played. I'm assuming anyway. This was years ago before I played anything fantasy-wise. Starting off, you could create some ugly characters through this character creator. Stretch their face, morph it, and the eyes. Oh my god, the eyes in this game. But for the most part, it's pretty simple, even more simple than Fallout 3, I would say. Comparing Oblivion or even Morrowind to the character creation screen of Starfield is such a huge jump in choices and customizations. It's really incredible to see how far Bethesda has come in those regards, and I know I'm going to spend an insane amount of time creating my character. Moving on to classes and skills within Oblivion, I think my favorite build would have to be using magic of any kind. Conjuration and Destruction were my two favorite types of magic. Who doesn't like both of those types anyway, though? The way that Oblivion set skills was by separating them between major and minor skills. Major skills were skills that you could start to increase your level when you increase those skills on their own individual levels. Minor, however, were skills that don't increase your level, but can be used to build up base attributes as you level up. Base attributes consist of strength, intelligence, willpower, agility, speed, endurance, personality, and luck. Every skill falls within these categories, so if you complete a major or minor skill, you get a point towards one of these attributes. So, say you complete 3 blade skill levels. Your strength attribute will have a +3 as you level up. If you get 2 points into athleticism, it goes towards your speed. You can stack up on these attribute points all the way up to 5 per level, and you can select 3 attributes to increase per level. It's a very different system compared to Skyrim because they did simplify it a bit more in Skyrim. Also, each race does get their own ability exclusively to that race. For example, Argonians are able to breathe underwater, resistant to 100% of diseases, while Dark Elves can summon a ghost of their ancestors to aid them in combat, while also being able to resist fire as well. Moving on to followers, I would say that this game has the most iconic follower in BGS games. Bayazura, Bayazura, Bayazura! Yes, the Adoring Fan. He was my favorite follower in Oblivion, mainly because he made my head swell up to the size of a balloon from the way that he would brag and claim how awesome that I was. So, it helped boost my ego and self-esteem while playing. He was, all in all, a terrible follower when it came down to actual combat though. Plus the way Wood Elves were designed in Oblivion, he looked like a 10-year-old wielding a butter knife. Through all the downfalls, the Adoring Fan is as loyal as they come though. My favorite experience I had one time with the Adoring Fan was that I was clearing out an Oblivion gate and fighting Daedra within. We were getting swarmed and I shot a fireball and nailed the Adoring Fan in the back of the head, killing the poor little child-sized man immediately. Once I was finished killing the Daedra, I did what any sensible Bethesda player would do in that moment. I drug and dumped him into a pool of lava, ridding the scene of any crime. I didn't want to be caught and get cancelled by Mehrunes Dagon, of course. The best part about that situation though was I went back to the arena to do some of the quests, and there he was, the Adoring Fan, alive, the same, standing right in front of me. It turns out the Adoring Fan actually respawns after so long when he dies. So, the moral of the story, the Adoring Fan is forever. There are quite a bit of followers that you can meet throughout the game, as well as ones that have generic names like Dark Brotherhood Murderers, Knight of the Nine, and Mage Apprentices. But none of them can top the Adoring Fan, in my opinion. Oblivion, in my opinion, had some of the best storytelling of a Bethesda game that I've played. I loved the main quest so much. I loved the factions and the plot twists that came with them. Some of the side quests were a little lackluster overall, but they were still good. The way that they write the characters and stories in Oblivion always made me feel attached to the characters. The Emperor trusting you to find his heir for him and shut the jaws of Oblivion right before his death was crazy, and it blew my mind as a kid when he was assassinated. I knew right then and there this game was going to be incredible. Also, for anyone that doesn't know, Uriel Septim is voiced by Patrick Stewart, so you have to love the man and the character. The way that they established the Mythic Dawn after that moment, you knew they were an important group and they meant business when you had to deal with them in future quests. They had a simple design with a red cloak that they would wear. Someone could quite easily spot them from a mile away. There was no secrecy when it came to the Mythic Dawn. But, oh well. As you progress through the main story by finding Uriel Septim's heir, you come across this town called Kvatch. As you get close to the city, you realize that the skies are turning dark and red. The music suddenly shifts to a more serious tone, and there appears to be refugee camps at the bottom of the hill of Kvatch. As you venture to the top, you find a small group of soldiers near barricades in an absolute panic. They seem on edge and scared, but who can blame them? They've been fighting off Daedra in swarms to what appeared to be no end. You can talk to the commander of Kvatch, Savlian Matthias, who doesn't believe you'll make it out alive if you attempt to go inside of the Oblivion Gate to close it. The player goes in, fights the Daedra, then closes the Oblivion Gate, shocking the soldiers and commander of Kvatch. In doing so, this ignites a large will to fight for them to push inside the city and clear the remaining Daedra. After doing so, you will meet a priest, Brother Martin, or the more you talk to him, Martin Septim, the illegitimate son of Uriel Septim, the heir to the throne and Amulet of Kings. Voiced by Sean Bean, of course. After saving Kvatch and wearing the title Hero of Kvatch, the player escorts Martin to Wayne Priory, where the Mythic Dawn awaits to try and assassinate Martin Septim. But they fail, and you continue forth to Cloud Ruler Temple, occupied by a group of warriors known as the Blades. The Blades are a group of sworn soldiers that protect the Emperor. As you proceed through the story, your main goal is to stop the Oblivion Crisis and stop the Mythic Dawn, and it all leads to a final battle within the Imperial City. The craziest part about this is Mehrunes Dagon actually appears, and he is massive. Storming through the inside walls of the Imperial City, Martin Septim sacrifices himself, taking on the form of Akatosh, an entity of a dragon, to stop Mehrunes Dagon, and he is successful, sadly resulting in his death. The form that Martin Septim had taken was frozen in stone as a memorial for all to see the sacrifice he made for all of Nirn. Talking about the next quest in Oblivion, it includes the Dark Brotherhood. This is my favorite quest in the entire game. The more you think about it, it is quite simple, but it's as deep as an ocean. Well, not really an ocean, but you can do a lot with this quest. Also, an honorable mention, the entire Dark Brotherhood quest was perfection and peak writing in the game, from start to finish. But my favorite quest, Whodunit, was amazing, and I loved replaying it just for the different outcomes you could have. The quest starts off by you, the player, going to the manor in Skingrad. Your goal? Kill all the victims within this manor. But there's a twist. No one can leave. The victims were tricked into playing a game where they're looking for treasure and the doors are locked until the treasure is found. But you know the real story as to why they can't leave. The reason I love this quest so much is because you can mess with these characters by befriending them one at a time, slowly gaining their trust. Then you silently kill one of them, resulting in obvious panic. From there, you can start stirring the drama and suspense by blaming people. Some characters will even get suspicious of others, and you can instigate the mistrust as the quest progresses. Some of the characters already have opinions on the others, and you can use that to your advantage, and they will actually get suspicious of them if you play your cards right. One of my favorite moments I had while doing this quest was convincing all of the guests that I was a good person, killing all of them except for two, an old Legion guard named Neville, and a Nord named Nels. These two hated each other, and you can convince Neville to kill Nels for you since you've gained his trust. Once he kills Nels, he's convinced that you guys are safe, considering that Nels is the last victim, of course. And once you gain Nels' trust and it's just you and him, the last thing left to do, kill him and complete the quest. Just the variety of different choices and outcomes you can have with all of these characters is awesome. I hope Bethesda will add quests similar to this one in Starfield. I mean, could you imagine a quest where you board a random ship and there's a killer about, but this time you're the victim? Or something similar to that of Oblivion in Whodunit? The options could be endless. Moving on to my next topic, the AI of Oblivion. Nothing stands out more than Oblivion's AI because it is something truly special. And when I mean special, so dumb that it's comically entertaining. The AI was designed to create schedules for NPCs, and it's a very cool system, don't get me wrong. It's just that the execution has labeled it more as a meme than as a groundbreaking improvement on AI as a whole. The way that characters interact with one another in a very odd and dry conversation, how sporadic and random they can be, the glitches, the way that they just go on as if it's normal. In the wise words of Todd Howard, it just works. Yes, I know that was for Fallout 4, but the quote works for any of their games. All in all, though, I feel like Oblivion really was the groundbreaking improvement for AI for Bethesda. Yes, it's janky, but it crawled so the others could walk and run with their AI. Look at Skyrim, Fallout 4. They're the most recent releases from Fallout 76? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, the AI got better by each game's release. From what we've seen of Starfield, it appears they've improved on it drastically as well. The huge bustling cities they've teased with so many NPCs and a return to the schedule system for these NPCs is going to be very groundbreaking for Bethesda, and I cannot wait to see how much they've improved on it. My overall thoughts on Oblivion is that, of course, it's a great game. It hasn't aged very well at all, but it has also been out for almost 20 years. So it's not like it came out last year, but due to the success of Skyrim, it can be overshadowed by new players of Bethesda. Even though it is overshadowed, it is still a game that I recommend people to play if they haven't already. Because like I mentioned, I love the writing in this game compared to Skyrim. There is so much to love about the game, but due to its silly AI, clunky combat at times, and outdated mechanics, it could be a chore to play unless you're such a huge fan like myself. During its time though, Oblivion was incredible. It still is in my eyes, but when you have a game like Skyrim, it could be difficult for newer players to go back to. Anyway guys, this is going to be it for today's video. I hope you've been enjoying the content I've been pushing out lately. If so, give it a like, and please subscribe to the channel for more. It will help me grow, and thanks again for all the support everyone has shown for me this far. It means so much to me. If you haven't watched the 2 previous countdown launch videos, I'll link them at the end of the video. Go check them out and let me know what you think in the comment section down below in those videos. I will be posting a Fallout 4 video very soon as the last part in my countdown to launch before the release of Starfield, as well as a top 10 video I'm working on for Starfield. Until then, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.